Why don't I feel like I look really weird? Do you think I should dye my hair back to blonde? I feel like there's too much black going on here. Like, you see my hair? It's this long and it's dead. What's up, everyone? So welcome back to another video. Finally, I have low-key ran out of ideas and even motivation to post in general, but I'm gonna get back on it just because I know I need to. For today's video, I want to do something a little bit different, and obviously by the title you guys kind of have an idea what it is. It is actually not what you're thinking though. It's not my first time, you know, but it's gonna consist of my first times of different occasions, if that makes sense. The only reason why I am not going to do a video on my first time, well, actually let's just start there. My first time losing my virginity, since obviously that's the first question that pops in your head when you read my first time. So my first time losing my virginity, I was actually, I want to say 16. The only reason why I can't elaborate on that, it's because I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, I just know that I was 16, so I don't think that's that young, but obviously for sure if I could have waited I would have, but you know, shit happens. My first fight, I got in my first fight, like physical fight, with another girl when I was, I want to say 16 as well, or 17. Anyways, yeah, my first fight was around when I was 16 or 17, and obviously it was because of a boy. Girls never fight over a guy. If you have to fight over a guy, you already lost, period. Like, guys should not put you in a position where you have to call out another girl or even fight her. Like, why is there, oh my gosh, whatever. My first car accident, actually I crashed a lot while trying to learn how to drive, but nothing thankfully was that major. I think the first actual bad accident that I got into, like that the ambulance showed up and the cops showed up, was we were driving back home from a party. My sister was actually driving and someone blew the stop sign, so my sister ended up crashing into them. Obviously she tried to stop, but the person blew the stop sign. That's a whole other story. I believe I was like 17 or 18 because I was already with Beto by then. He was actually in the car with me too, and it was pretty scary. If you guys want to hear that story, let me know. First time having kids, I was 20. I mean, I got pregnant at 19, so my first time having a kid was at 20. And that was a whole roller coaster. If you guys haven't seen my I gave birth at 26 weeks video, I'll link it down below so you guys can see how that went. My first time moving out. My first time moving out, I was actually 22, I want to say. I lived with my mom after I had a Romeo. Once I found out I was pregnant for the second time, I knew I had to leave because there was already so many people in that house and it was time for me to grow up. I ended up moving out at age 22, which is kind of late if you ask me. I should have had my shit together before I even got pregnant, but we're not going to talk about that. My first car. My first car was a Mazda, and it was blue. It was my favorite car ever, like for my first car, until it ended up getting possessed. It all of a sudden stopped working. It would shake, it would turn off, it would try to accelerate by itself, and it would brake on itself. It was some crazy ass shit. I just got rid of it, and I think it was trying to kill me. My first time getting suspended. I actually never got suspended. I used to always get ISSO, which is in school suspensions, and that's because I was always late or I would get caught ditching. but it was mostly because I was always late. My first time getting drunk, you guys, I was 15, and I remember I'll probably make a story time about that, because that night was the first and the last time I think anyone has seen me that fucked up. My first kiss was in 8th grade to a guy that was actually my boyfriend, but it was such an awkward kiss, and it was outside my best friend's house at the time, and she was like peeking out through the window. It wasn't even a kiss, I would say. Like, I think I ended up kissing like his nose and his, I don't know, it was really weird. I think we broke up like the next following week after that. My first job was at a Wendy's, and honestly I didn't even want to work. I ended up going with my sister, my younger sister, to her job interview, and the manager was like, do you need a job? And I was just like, yeah. Low-key, I did not want to work for shit. But so he made me fill out an application, and we both ended up getting hired, and I got stuck working at Wendy's for the next 5 years, I think. My first piercing. So obviously you guys know I have both of my nose pierced. I recently got the date piercing, which I'm going to make a video on, and I also have my like regular ear and my belly piercing. But my first piercing ever was actually my belly button, and that was done by my cousin's cousin in her room at like 1 in the morning because we were so bored, and she used this needle that is apparently only supposed to be for like face piercings, but she did it on my belly button and it wouldn't go in, so she was there struggling to push it all the way in, and she made me lay down. She ended up grabbing like a sock and tried pushing it all the way in with like her whole strength until you could hear it pop. And I was low-key, that shit was hurting. Like, so unprofessional. It was the worst idea ever, but up until this day I still have it, and it never got infected, thank God. I hid it from my mom for like a whole year probably, because I knew she was gonna beat my ass. But I was 14 or 15 when I got it done. My first tattoo, that's my tattoo on my thigh. I got it, I think 2015. I don't know how old I was, probably like, does it even matter? I was legal, like, that's all that matters. So yeah, that was my first tattoo, and it's 5 roses for my family members, which is my mom, my dad, my 2 sisters, and my little brother. And also I believe that's my most expensive tattoo. My first language is obviously Espanol. My mom has actually been telling me to make a video in Spanish, and I believe I obviously know how to speak Spanish well. I'm not like those like, oh my god, yo no sabo. Like, no, I know how to speak Spanish. I was raised in a Mexican household, and that's my first and main language. The only thing is that I did because Romeo understands Spanish, but he won't speak it. So how do I reverse that? If you guys want me to make a video in Spanish, just give me an idea on what type of video you want me to make, and I'll do it. Should I translate this? Yeah, I should, because well, si ustedes quieren que yo haga un video en español, nomás déjenme saber de qué tipo de video quieren que yo haga y lo voy a hacer. La única razón por que no he hecho un video en español es porque no tengo una idea de qué tipo de video quieren en español. So I got you if you just give me a subject. What was my first fear? My first fear, believe it or not, were dogs. I was terrified of dogs. So what had happened was that when I was little, this big dog ran up to me. I was probably like 3 or 4, but this dog, like huge dogs, like those big dogs, but the friendly dogs, it ran up to me wanting to play. But obviously as a little 3-year-old, you don't know that. So I just saw this big creature running towards me, and I swear to God, I was traumatized. I was so freaking scared of dogs for the rest of my life, up until my mom me llevó a sobar, and I ended up being traumatized of the lady que me sobó, so I convinced myself that I was no longer scared of dogs, and then we ended up owning a dog, so at the end it worked out well. But my first fear was a dog. My first time wearing makeup. I did not start wearing makeup until I was in 8th grade, and that was only eyeliner. That's why I feel like that's the only reason why I'm so good at it. I think I would only wear eyeliner, and it wasn't like the liquid liner, it was the pencil liners. So I would just like, oh my god, I look like ridiculous because obviously after a while it would smear everywhere and it was just a disaster. But I would only do eyeliner, nothing else. So I just had these big dark eyes. You know, fun fact, my first time wearing eyelashes was actually after I graduated. I just thought people were gonna start saying shit if I started wearing eyelashes, so I never did it in school besides the weekends. And after I graduated, then I never stopped taking them off. Like now I don't go anywhere without my eyelashes. The first thing I do every morning is check my phone. I feel like that's everyone. Well, I check my phone and then I go see where my kids are. Or my kids are usually trying to wake me up. Something. I actually started making them sleep in their room, but they creep up in the middle of the night into our room, and there's times where they scare the frick out of me because I wake up and I just see a little monito standing there, and I'm like, what the? My first time losing someone important. The first time I lost someone I really cared about, it was actually on my birthday. On my 16th birthday, I lost my grandpa, which is still shocking to me because I'm not trying to, I'm like, out of all the days, right, it was on my birthday. So obviously this tattoo, when people ask me if it's my birthday, I say yes, but it has a double meaning, which is still crazy to me. My birthdays since that day have never been the same, just because I feel like that day is meant for, like, I feel like I can't go out and have fun, not because I can't, but it's like because it doesn't feel right, because I feel like I owe respect to my grandpa that day. It's the mood kind of just went whoop. But I'm just gonna leave off today's video right here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, give me more, DM me. If you don't want to comment down below, Snapchat me or DM me ideas on what to post, because I'm slacking. If you did enjoy this video, like I said, give it a like. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I think I need to get back on schedule. I need my nails done. Tita, where are you? Peace.